now. So we're recording. This is 2020, and we're going to be talking about CommentSold. I'm talking with Michael Brooks, and we've got a cast of thousands on the call to learn about CommentSold, the online selling system, the advanced features of CommentSold, and then to take questions. So everybody who's on the call, welcome. And I want to turn this over to Michael Brooks. Michael, I'm going to, let's see. All right, not doing this well. Let's see, participants. Oh, you got it. All right. Good job.
I think we have it. Someone else may have just joined. All right. Well, good afternoon, or depending on where you are, good morning still. I think we're in the pretty much the afternoon everywhere. I will make this as interactive as possible so that we can get everyone's questions answered as we go. Is anyone on the call that we know of currently subscribed or using the CommentSold platform? Okay. And certainly we'll go through and do some demo, and I'm going to go through some slides first. CommentSold is a platform that was developed out of necessity. It's a pretty unique story, actually. Oops, I'm going to move this over here. It was started out of necessity with a relationship between Brandon Cruz and Amanda. In 2014, she was running a boutique on Facebook, and she had gotten that to a significant degree of success. However, she was quite bogged down in the minutia of trying to do everything manually, inbound inventory and outbound, capturing the sales, all of the data points, and of course, the sales process itself, the shipping, all the elements that go into it. So Brandon was in a position where he could help out, and so he created what it's currently the platform CommentSold. The base model, the beginning of the platform was really just that. It was just to have the automation wherever he could automate the process. And it worked quite well. In fact, I believe within about 11 months span, she went from about 30,000 in sales volume to about 100,000. So they continued to work through it and make improvements and enhancements, and all the things that we look at from a business standpoint. How do I engage with my current customer base? How do I grow my current customer base? How do I get my current customers to shop more often with me, and like I said, be engaged in the process and become a brand loyalist? And so all of the things that started to happen on Facebook throughout that time really was accelerated because of the process that Brandon had built out. People ask often, why is the growth so significant and so swift with CommentSold? I believe our average customer is seeing about a 40% increase within 3 months on the platform from their social selling prior and then after joining us. And it certainly is due to the fact that it's extremely efficient and it's very well built. But one thing that it does is it frees up so much more time for the entrepreneur to be able to focus on other things that they're able to do a better job. They're able to do a better job at market and at doing what they love to do, selling their products, engaging with their customers. And so it's a really an exciting platform to work with. It's a great company to be a part of. We're growing very fast, as most of you have experienced or know firsthand that this has been a very strange year for everyone in the world. And so what's happened is we've seen a major shift in shopping patterns out of necessity. I spent a great deal of time throughout the end of March, April, and May talking with people at their kitchen table, locked in their bedrooms, trying to hide from their kids and dogs, trying to figure out how they're going to be able to keep their store, afloat and put food on the table. And it was an amazing time of being able to very quickly take a bricks and mortar store or someone who had not previously been very sophisticated or into the digital space and social platform or selling, and get them on the platform, set up, and running in very short order to keep the machine moving, to keep the inventory moving through, to make sure that they didn't lose 30, 60, 90 days of sales. And what happened is that the exciting part is most of those people, as you probably know, anytime you go through a difficult situation, whether it's a recessionary period, a market downturn, drought, crisis, anything that impacts the marketplace, those who get more aggressive during that time, from a marketing standpoint, from an investment standpoint, and really dig in, typically come out of that transition period with more share, more market, more sales. And that holds true pretty much for anyone. And so what we found is that starting in July and June, July, when things started opening up again, they were exceeding all of their goals suddenly for the year, and really pacing better than they thought they would be. And so the sales continued to grow. They didn't fall off on the social side, but they built that out. So from the standpoint of what's going on right now, it accelerated the growth curve for CommentSold dramatically. I mean, we were planning on fairly significant growth over the next 2 or 3 years, but obviously out of necessity, this accelerated the process. So one thing, there's an analyst study that came out in July that was very interesting. I can share it with you, John. I'll get your copy. That talked about specifically what's going on in social selling. And in it, the big number, of course, is that the U.S. is going to get to $25 billion in selling on social platforms, and which is significant. It's a big number, of course. It's way below where China is. China's a $60 billion social platform sales level. And so the number that really still stands out to me, and I'm kind of a research freak, over 70% of the people that they looked at said they would not click or click out of a social platform that they're on to go to a website. 70%, which just surprised me. But that's really where the shopping has shifted to. I mean, when you look at it, we started by selling, in bricks and mortar possibly, and then we added, of course, websites, and we used the websites to drive them to our store, and then we started selling online, and then we started using social media platforms to drive them to our web stores, and now the expectation is I can shop. I should be able to shop right here, and if I can't, I won't shop you. Any questions so far?
Michael, I'll jump in here real quick because some of the people on the call have heard this story. I first learned about CommentSold last year. I was in a small Midwest town, and before I spoke for 2 days, I had a retailer come up to me and said, I only get about 30 people a month in my retail store, but in fact, she admitted, she said, our downtown is so horrible, but she said, well, I'm doing over $2 million a year because of CommentSold. And that was my first experience with hearing about your company, when somebody admits that they have 99% of their volume is being done online. And then, as you reiterated, when the shutdown happened in March, April, and May, I've had business owners who have come to me and said, if not for CommentSold and my ability to sell through Facebook Live and Instagram, I wouldn't be around. And many of them actually came back to me, and you probably have heard some of these same successes, where they've reported back to me that their volume in April and May time periods, when they were totally shut down, often exceeded their best fourth quarter months. And some of these businesses have been open for 5, 10, 15 years. So are those kind of stories pretty common that you hear?
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, I every day, I talk to customers that it accelerated the curve so dramatically. We suddenly were not so much worried about staying afloat. We were trying to figure out the supply chain issues going on because, COVID had caused some problems in all sectors, from manufacturing to shipping to, and so it was amazing. And what I like about it is the speed. I mean, I've never seen anything like it, John. I honestly, spending my whole career in retail and marketing, and the cost of customer acquisition is so low compared to traditional forms of media, like where I came from, where you would run, extensive branding campaigns across multiple channels. And, you really, the outcome is just kind of a gamble. You're hoping that your brand is taking effect, and that you're going to see results, but you don't have the customer engagement with that. And you certainly, don't have, the statistically easy to track results. It's like, I can see how many people came in my door. In fact, I just visited a store randomly, and we'll go to one here when we get through this few piece of information. And I was doing a presentation just before this, and I just picked a random store that was going live, jumped on it, and there were 395 people watching the sale in their live sale at like 11:45 in the morning.
Yeah. Yeah. And in
And
fact, we had one of our destination boot camp graduates who recently commented and said that she's just been using the program for 8 months. And she said, we're shipping things all over the world. And she said, we'll do one of these live sales, we'll sell out. And we're not just selling to our community of Wyoming, we're selling to people all over the United States and Canada.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So I hope that gives you a kind of an idea of what we are. We are a SaaS company that basically software as a service that provides the backbone and the platform in which it allows people to easily, quickly, conveniently post products and sell them directly on Facebook and Instagram and on an app, which I'll show you a little bit about. And the sale terminates on our platform. So you don't go out of the platform to pay, you don't go out of the platform for anything. So it is very, very, very quick. The product the store that I mentioned, Discount Divas, is just an amazing success story. She's doing well over $2 million a month. They bought a grade school, they converted it to a warehouse. What an amazing success story for the Cruz family, and what a great company they've built in the process. One thing that I thought was unique too, from being an entrepreneur, is if John and I were putting our heads together and came up with this company, I'm guessing we would have came up with some ways to really try to aggregate the data more, find ways to look at the power of all of as a marketplace and things like that we probably would have done. And it's so pure in how this was built. It was built to help her with a specific problem, with a specific issue, and it wasn't until after the level of success that she had that he even decided to launch it to the rest of the world out there. So it's a great story. We work with all size businesses. We work with mom and pop shops, craft stores, and obviously multi-million-dollar operations. We are primarily in the boutique space. That's where we started. It happens to be a very viable vertical for us to operate in because of our experience in the space, but also because of the uniqueness of what live sales have been able to do. That's something that we're probably more known for now. Initially, like I said, it was built more for automation and automating the back end and accounting and reporting, and to be able to handle inventory, all the boring things, right? But now what we found is that the live selling aspect has gotten to be extremely significant. And let's see. Oh, okay. I just chat. I just want to see if anyone was asking a question. We offer a web store as part of our service. We do have a lot of places, a lot of businesses that have their own website. Of course, they don't necessarily have to use our web store platform. We do have an integration with Shopify. Some people that have a bricks and mortar store and have a Shopify website, and if they use Shopify for their POS system, typically they'll probably keep that web store initially, especially if they're using it, the POS system in the store as well, because it allows for seamless integration of the inventory between us in real time. So anything selling in the bricks and mortar, anything selling online, and anything selling on a Facebook Live, a group, or Instagram, or on the app, it's all accounted for immediately.
Michael, real quick, when you referenced Brandon and his wife, CommentSold's out of out of Birmingham, Alabama. Is that correct, Michael?
Huntsville.
Huntsville, Alabama. That's right. And after I had met that retailer that was doing $2 million a year with 30 customers coming in a month, I reached out and made a connection with Carolyn Williamson, who is director of partnerships, and just told her, look, this is something I really want to make viable. So when you said the Cruz family, not everyone will know who that is, but Brandon Cruz is kind of the brains and the genius behind this. And that, but then his wife was the one that actually, implemented this in her retail store. So it was, live, actionable, working right from as they were building this. And I think that's one of the greatest parts of this is they're small business owners too.
Yeah, they are, and many of our staff, in fact, most of them probably have boutiques, have stores themselves, or have been in the space like me from a consulting standpoint, or worked with retail. And so, the one thing you brought up is that success story. I have so many of them, and it's fun to talk about. But one that stands out, a couple of them, is the gal that had spent so much time in her store and had missed so many things and just didn't want to have to be in the store all the time. And so now her boutique or her store is limited hours. She uses it more for her studio as for her live sales, but she's just changed her whole life because now she's able to do more of the things she wants when she wants, and she's knocked down all the geographic boundaries to be able to sell, the barriers to selling. If you get a chance, and we'll go to a live if we can, and if we have time, I'll just take a pot shot at one if I can find one real quick to show you. It's kind of fun to step in. But when you watch a live sales, and I'm sure some of you have participated or seen it, it is a very competitive, it's a competitive thing. I went to my very first sale when I was testing the platform to see what it was all about. And I actually purchased a jean jacket for my daughter on it. And I'll tell you a little bit more about it, but the automation again was so unique on that. But what happened is that we have so many automated pieces to it that you can set your shopping cart expiration, you can have a dynamic wait list, and all of these things, help to, achieve the one thing we need to do, and that is get the folks that are shopping with us to spend more money with us and make sure that they're checking out and clearing out their cart. And what happened for me, which was my first experience, was of course, typical guy in a boutique sale, I forgot all about it. I started working on something else, and my computer pinged at me, and it sent a note that I had just a couple minutes left to complete my purchase. So someone else was waiting for that medium jean jacket that I had sitting in my cart. And so, of course, I wasn't going to let someone else get my daughter's jean jacket. So I purchased it immediately. And with the automation pieces that are unique is that I immediately got a confirmation. In fact, the unique thing, if you can imagine, if you've worked in a bricks and mortar store, if you could imagine every customer walking in with a bubble over their head with their name on it, that's what you get when you're doing a Facebook Live, because I was on the live sale, and it was actually one of our sellers' wife was doing the sale. It's Deep South Pout Boutique. And she goes, well, hi, Michael, you're new here. Welcome. And I'm in a hotel in Huntsville looking around going, oh boy, who saw that? So it was really, it's just so personal. And that really stuck out to me, that, that interaction. And that's what really helped, I think, a lot of people when we didn't have the normal shopping patterns that we were able to in the past. So it is, the new thing is, of course, the live selling. It is the big thing. It's what is most talked about. Again, the automated process. I immediately got a message in Messenger. I immediately got a confirmation email. It automatically knew that I was a new customer because my confirmation email said, thanks for shopping as a new customer. You get 25% off your next purchase with us. We hope to see you again soon. And another unique piece is the follow-up. She had enabled a follow-up email, and so she had selected items, racks, bins of things that she would like to offer as a follow-up offer. So a few minutes later, I got a follow-up email automatically that said, thanks for your business again. We'd like to offer this sweater in a medium. We have artificial intelligence that matches it up, and selected something that same size and said, if you'd like to add this sweater to your purchase for $14.95, it's normally $30. We'll include it for no additional shipping. Okay, I got my other daughter covered. So we had the upsell. If they would have sent me a third, I would have really been in great shape, because then I would have bought my wife something, but it didn't happen that way. So No, it's amazing and how easy it is to work with. Instagram, instead of, it's really nice to see likes and see hearts and thumbs ups and, but I would rather see, sales, dollar signs. I'd like to see a transaction take place on the platform immediately. And Instagram is going to be a big grower for us. We're not, we don't do the live sales on Instagram. We don't do IGTV. We don't do video. We just basically do the static posts, the fit videos. You can do the short GIFs. You can do the boomerang videos. But Instagram is just growing dramatically, obviously, because of the fact it does cater to a little younger demographic, and it's extremely viral when people are in there. There's a lot of gamification. We have some clients that have joined our platform that were very successful even prior to joining CommentSold. I have one in particular, and two of the things that he mentioned for his reason for joining us, well, actually three, was one, the gamification, the ability for them to have a lot of fun with live sales. People can jump the line. You can do things like purchase every live sale with me and your shipping's free. I mean, there's a whole long list of things that we can do. And the other thing, of course, was the app that we do is extremely robust, and I'll show you a few pieces of that as well. And the third thing is how we work our program, and that is, he said, Michael, your goals are perfectly aligned with mine. You get 3% of my sales, so I know you're going to want to help me grow, and that's exactly it's spot on. And so we work really hard to help set goals, set realistic expectations, measure. I want measurable results. I want a report card. I want to know how we're doing for our clients, and I want to help them overachieve. One other, and there's so many of them, I could go on and on. I had one gal that out of Chicago that has a boutique, and she said, Michael, I just need to sell $4,500 to stay alive, to stay afloat. I just got to sell for it. That's what I need to do. And I said, okay. I asked her several questions, of course, because we dig pretty deep, and I got a handle on her inventory, and she was sitting on about $30,000 worth of inventory. And I said, well, what are we shooting for 4,500 for? Let's look at 20,000. And she said, I've never sold more than $1,000 on a social platform, and that was clicking through the website. So we ended up goaling it, and we did about, I want to say 8,500 the first month, first 30 days or 3 weeks, and then she did 18,200 in her next 30 days. So she now has an app, and she called me crying. She was so excited.
Michael, real quick. One of the things we had a question is, just to make it clear, I think about it as kind of QVC on steroids, kind of that online shopping network on steroids. But one of the questions was, is this a bidding process or are these set prices? Can you explain that?
Yeah, it is not a bidding process. There's no bidding on it. It's a set price. And that's another reason why the boutique space does really well, because if you think about it, most boutiques have a lot of unique items. They have limited numbers of items. I think we found, I think one of the funny stories I've heard is that Duck Dynasty did a live sale with us and just blew it up and had a huge event. I don't have any of the specifics on it, but the premise is, then they went to do another live sale, and they had the same duck calls. So there's nothing new to see here, folks. And so it helps when you have limited quantities, and that's why, again, the boutique space. One thing we do is help. I work with a lot of bricks and mortar stores to more efficiently work their store footage and to take the one-offs, two-offs, or limited sizes that they need to clear off the shelf, get out of the way, and get that posted and move it. And they don't have to do such deep discounting that way, and they're able to keep their store running smooth. It is, you're absolutely right. It is like a QVC. One thing that you'll notice that we have people that will do a live sale on their own. They'll do a Facebook Live. the average amount of time spent trying to retrack the sales that occurred on a live sale, if you do it manually, it's about 5 hours for every live of a sale. I have a quilting company out of Anoka, Minnesota called Millie P's. There's 3 ladies there. They would do a 4-hour live sale on Friday nights, and they'd spend 28 hours between them trying to figure out what happened, trying to track the sales, put out the fires. Because the other thing that happens is you see every comment when you're coming through our broadcast app, and it is in it's an HD quality video. But Facebook will filter comments, random comments. And so what happens is if you're doing a live sale on your own, you're going to have some really good customers kind of upset with you because you ignored them. You didn't pay attention, or they said they wanted something and didn't get it. And so that real-time ability of seeing the customers come in, knowing what their comments are. We tag them with a VIP or a new customer. You can see how many items are left as you're talking. This is what you're looking at. This is basically your phone that has a broadcast app on it, and it just runs smoothly and seamlessly. Did that answer your question, by the way, on the pricing?
Yeah, I think it did. A couple other things. You brought up a couple of terms that I'd like you to clarify because I think they'll come up later. One, you referenced shopping cart expiration, which you referenced in your story, and then you referenced wait list. Can you clarify what those are for the people who don't know?
Yeah, I have some folks that do print on demand. So what they'll do is they will do a sale, and we work with a payment processor called Stripe, and if they have enabled on their settings the dynamic wait list, it allows people who want an item to say, hey, if you can get this, even though I know you're out of it, if it falls out of someone's cart, I'll take it. If you can get more of them, I'll take it. I'm committing to it. And so the dynamic wait list works really good for the print on demand folks, because they'll run a sale. They'll say, I'm going to run 244 of these shirts, this thing here, and then I'm going to destroy the press. It's a unique item, one of a kind. And so they can get the pre-sale of the orders and know exactly what they're dealing with. And if they can purchase more of the product, or if they can get some, you have a very efficient means of helping to fulfill those. The shopping cart expirations are important because you can do the reminder, and you can set that. Some people would go 3 or 4 days trying to track down something that's sitting in someone's shopping cart. Well, this is automated, so it's going to let me know, hey, do you want that? If you don't, if you don't mind, I'm going to pull it out of your cart and give it to someone who wants it, because they've already said they'll take it. So that's that competitive part of it that is kind of fun. The broadcast app, again, we talk a lot about live sales. I do have a client that's going on, he just signed today, and they won't go live probably for a few months. They plan to at some point. They're going to start with doing short videos, and I love that. And that is posting a lot of content on your Facebook from the standpoint of 45-second videos, 15-second videos, 3-minute videos. And so showing an item, saying, hey, this is what it looks like. You can do the fit video. You can show some maybe some accessories with it, and just post it. I have some clients that do delivery day posts. As the truck's coming in, they show it all. It feels like you're in the store with them. So there's a lot of ways to do it, and what I'm finding is the more that they're interacting and posting, whether it's stills, videos, short lives, full-blown live events, all of that is creating content on your platform. So it kind of serves both sides of it in driving additional engagement. The sale that I checked out today, as they were live, had I believe it was 36 shares, and then we jumped in. They'd been on the sale for maybe 20 minutes. So what happens is when you go to a live sale, you'll have a pop-up that says, hey, who else would like to join the sale? So you can invite some friends, my wife, my sisters, my whatever. So it truly is, omni-channel presence, when you look at everything we're doing, and the thing that I haven't touched on much yet is the mobile app. And we used to have a threshold for the mobile app of 15,000 in a 30-day period before we would put you into app development, because we didn't have the wherewithal, we didn't have the speed to be able to pull it together. And our team worked so hard on that through first and second quarter, that in July we launched apps for anyone who's on the boutique plan at $149 a month, and 3% of sales can go immediately into app development. That can take 4 weeks, it could take 8 weeks, depending on the turnaround time from Apple and our other providers, and of course the information that we need to get from our client, which is fairly limited and pretty quick to get. But I'll give you some names of some apps that you can download towards the tail end here of this, and I'll show you a couple things. I'll probably skip over some of this because I do want to leave a little bit of time for a question and go into some specifics for you. But the marketing tools, the ability to go on Facebook, plan your week, plan your sales, the inventory management, the invoicing, shipping fulfillment. When you look at your dashboard, you can process yours. You can see what's sitting in there. You print out your pick slip. So and literally the sale that I attended when I was checking this out was on a Wednesday night. And Thursday morning, she got up and printed her pick slip and her shipping label is part of our back end service, and picked the sweater, picked the jean jacket, put it in a bag, scanned it on the way out. And about 11 a.m. Central the next day, I had your item has shipped confirmation email, and I had a little note in Messenger. I got back Friday night, and Saturday morning I was on my doorstep. I mentioned some of the payment systems that we work with: Stripe, PayPal, Square, and Sezzle. Won't go into a lot of detail on that. You probably have heard of Sezzle, or maybe you've heard of Afterpay. Sezzle's similar to that. Sezzle's very good at helping to drive average order size up, because people can make payments versus paying one lump sum. So we do have some data that shows that it does significantly drive up your average ticket. Stripe is one I like to work with for the gamification side. So we can't use Stripe and Square, so typically it's a choice. Most of my customers, my clients that I'm working with, are Stripe, PayPal, and Sezzle. Inventory, I won't get into a whole lot of that, other than the fact that we do have clients. Most of them will separate out their inventory if they have a bricks and mortar store, unless they are a Shopify user across both the bricks and mortar and their digital, their website. So what they'll do is, I have many clients, because there's so many different POS systems out there. They'll just break out their inventory, new arrival in, break out their inventory, and put part of it on us and part of it in their store, of course. And if you do have Shopify, it's amazing. It's real-time upgrade and integration between the two inventory levels. And in that relationship, Shopify is the master inventory, and I think 15 seconds would be a lifetime probably for those to talk to each other. So it's pretty impressive that we don't get into oversold situations or have problems with it. Shipping and fulfillment, I covered a little bit. The marketing, we can get into some of that after the reporting. I'm just going to show you some of those. And we have phenomenal customer support with our chat team. The way that we work as a company, as an AE, my job is to help get the prospective client up and running, get our goals set. I'm here with them, holding their hand as long as I'm needed. And for the first 30 days, we don't have a subscription fee. So what we do is we work really hard to get you off the ground and get an onboard specialist with you. So you have myself and an onboard specialist for your first 30 days. Once you hit a certain level of sales, we will also add in an account strategist to help to take you to the next level. The only one I didn't talk about was Avalara. That is the sales tax affiliate. They're our partner that we work with to make sure that sales taxes are all done properly in all 16,000 plus tax jurisdictions in the United States. I didn't realize there was that many. All right, questions?
Michael, one of the things that that I've heard time and time again from business owners is the ability of your team to get people up and running really quickly, where they've been, I'll get business owners who are not tech savvy, who are, do not have e-commerce sites, and they'll come back to me and said, no, we were, you guys have online training. Apparently, I haven't watched these things, but apparently you have online training. As you said, you've got people who hold their hands. But what I'm hearing is I'm getting, business owners who are in their 40s, 50s, 60s, even older, who really are not experienced and tech savvy, who are coming back and saying, this really worked. This is relatively simple to do this. I mean, talk a little bit about the kind of the back end help that you guys have that helps people, so that I'm hearing stories like that.
Yeah, I'll show you. In fact, I'm going to open up a dashboard here, and I'm also going to show you a live. I'll share my screen again here. Let's see. Okay, someone said they want to see the current clients. Absolutely, we'll get right into that. I'm going to show you a dashboard here just to give you an idea of what it looks like. Actually, I have a live one in a couple of different stages here, so I'll share again. All right, so if you can see, this is your dashboard in CommentSold. This is just an admin setup here with one of our specific stores that we were. This is actually a live one, so I'm not going to mess with anything in here. I'm just going to show you overall how it works and more or less the setup. And that's one thing that you just asked, is why is it so easy? Well, when we start with someone, we give them the basic steps to get started. I mean, I had a person I talked to at 4 p.m. and she said, I'll be ready to go live by 7 o'clock tonight. And I said, whoa, that's a little fast. Hold on. But she was extremely savvy. She really knew Facebook. She understood it. She knew what she was doing. So some of it depends on the speed and the sophistication of the person, but for the most part, it's very it's set up. And it was originally set up to be completely automated. So you go into your setup tab when you start with us, and what we do is we go through the steps of setting up your store, and it's really the basics, time zone, all those types of things. We create an Avalara account, so you go in there and you'll apply for your Avalara. We set up the shipping. We look at the payment gateways. If you don't have Sezzle and you want it, we show you the steps to get applied for that, PayPal, and so we go through each of these steps in here. When you look at templates and how you want to do your inbound, outbound, you can set a lot of templates to save speed or time. If you have a Shopify account, you just sync it right here. That'll move the inventory so that we can pull that inventory and look at it. It will sync with it.
Can you look at shipping again? I think I saw an integration with also ShipStation.
Yep.
Up at the top, so that could just be another store in a ShipStation channel, for instance.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay, and then how do you upload your inventory if you have it in a non-Shopify store? Can you do CSV import or something like that?
Yes. Yep. CSV import, and then you'll import your images, and you can set some various templates and how you're going to actually set it up. I can go in here and take a look and edit my images. I can duplicate them if I'm going to use the same image or potentially for some various other products. I can go straight and post to Facebook. My app, of course, if I have that up and running. One thing that's kind of fun to do, in fact, I don't want to do it in her store, so I'm going to go to this basic one here. I don't want to break anything in there. Because yeah, that's live. I just put everything on sale. Oh, it's going to go there by automatic. One thing I can do is I can create a live selection. I'll just show you kind of what it looks like. So if I'm going to go live, I can I can work on a list. In fact, she's already got one going here. So it's her item numbers all stacked in here. So she's prepping for a live. She'll save it for a certain date. And there we go. Get back out of there. And so what it'll do is allow you to basically anything you want within your inventory over here. I can set up to post to a previous post on Facebook. So It is pretty simple. You can look in your orders and your fulfillment and look at, who's paid, who hasn't fulfilled. Um, Again, I don't typically use this particular demo, but in the last minute here, I had my Sandbox account would not work, so I had to go to a friend's account. So I said, let me use it for a presentation. Should we just do a live for it right now and get it going? Everything's on sale, right? I think the reporting is phenomenal. We do have best practices, and we follow, some really solid outlines that we've created internally to help you run your business more efficiently. We've actually sent a few people to help someone optimize their warehouse, for example, and taking a look at what times, what days, what's working best, what isn't working for our customers.
Michael, talk a little bit about the functionality. One retailer shared with me that one of the things that happens is that if, let's say, she has 12 of a certain item and sells out of them, that she can actually go in after the sale and it will show the number of people who actually said, if you can get more of these, I'll buy them. And it actually gives some kind of a projection on what her future retail would be if she can get more of that inventory. Do you have an example of that?
Yeah. You can just go here to your wait list. And if you had a wait list going, anything that is sitting in there, I love this too. You can have top offenders, best customers, but so believe me, some people have to block some folks. They tend to cause some problems. But yeah, so you get your sell-through, aged inventory. She doesn't have anything waitlisted in here, but if she did, that's where she'd see it. Yep, you'd see, how much it is. It'll tally it for you.
So, Michael, right now you're showing, primarily boutiques, but talk a little bit about some of the other success stories. You mentioned the Duck Dynasty guys. Do you have any other success stories in other store types, other retail types?
Absolutely. Some of the other verticals that have really taken off, we call it the craft as a category, but it's in particular quilting, sewing, textiles, fabrics have really gravitated towards this. I could bring up Millie P's quilt shop out of Anoka, and they do really well with live selling. So that's one category. The other one that stands out for me is home goods and gift stores. So gifts, home goods, decorating, but the gift stores are pretty big as well. We're also getting more into consumables like pet supplies. Pet supply stores, I have a couple of those that are going to be getting into it. I have some really fun ideas for how to do some live sales with them as well. Children's clothing, of course, we're going to be getting more and more into, so not just the clothing side of it, but also, one that we are working to grow is the men's clothing side. So I have 2 stores, men's lines launching in the next couple of weeks. So that's going to be fun to see if how that works. I'm guessing that the live sales will be successful, probably not to the same degree as the women's clothing, but I also think that the speed that men are going to be able to shop and purchase, and what I think is going to be the biggest piece of this personally is going to be the mobile app. Guys want to shop, they want to shop quick, they want to get it done. And so that app is amazing. When you're on it, if you see a still image on that, on the app, something that you like on there, the updates and that they've done on the app are just incredible. I can actually click on that item, and if it was in a live sale, I can actually see the fit video to go with it. So it's not just the still, I also can see the fit video. The other categories that we're probably going to be getting into, I think, are going to be more of the consumables. I have some interest in the food market, prepared food. We have a meat processor that does meats and cooking shows. He's got the multiple cameras set up and is selling meat. I think some of the stores like that are going to see some really big inroads to be able to sell on social media.
Michael, one of the questions that someone asked from Saskatchewan is, do you have Canadian clients?
Canadian clients, not yet. We don't. I have a chain of stores, and they have several Canadian based businesses as well. So not yet. Everything's US based right now. I mean, we ship to Canada, but we don't have any clients based out of Canada yet.
Okay. And another question was, Val asked, we use Square for POS and Wix for a website. Do you integrate with those?
Not yet. We are working, we do have some API solutions that we're working through right now. Square, I know, is one that, we're working towards. I don't have a release date or anything solid on that yet. There's so many POS systems out there that, it does get to be pretty interesting in how that, how that integration can work for us, but not yet. So what we do is we separate out the inventory typically.
Aaron asked, do you need to have a base of followers on Instagram or Facebook?
I like to see a base of followers because we're not a marketplace, so we're not, we are not, pushing audience to your store. We're working with you to grow your store organically and your audience. So, we had several stores that were at literally a dead stop. I mean, we're talking less than 100 followers on Facebook or Instagram. And so we just leveraged the other things that we knew we could do. And that was their email database, get everyone revved up, let people know, let's reach out to them, have them join the Facebook and get involved. And so, and then you've got the referral program that we can do. You can set up as one of the incentives that I can do. So I can say for everyone you invite to my sale for their first purchase, I'm going to give you 15 or 20 or 30% of whatever they purchase in store credit. So you can do some pretty big things to help get more, more shares and more people joining.
Michael, talk a little bit about the power or the value of having a Facebook private group and selling through that.
I think it's varied. I know I like these guys here, Sexy Modest. So they have a private group that they'll do special events for. And so I think the private groups are very helpful. From the standpoint of you can be so specific to, who's in that, how do I want to price it, how do I want to position it. I have a client that does unique fittings in various markets and goes through and very high end. It's going to be rolling out. And so she's going to create groups by region that she can sell into. She knows exactly what types of items based on the seasonality and geography of where they're at. So there's just a lot of benefits to being able to do, various group sales, or as I showed on that one slide, you can hit them all at once at the same time if you want to.
Okay. Other questions from anybody in the group?
Another thing that's unique as you're thinking about questions is that if you look through, this is a client when they put their whole life on Facebook, so they're just fun to work with. It's Sexy Modest. This is one of the apps that I tell everyone to download because they're very successful. They have the current record for per minute transaction sales on our platform, about $868 a minute in selling. But I can go back through and reshop the live after the fact. So, she has content all over in here and I can go back through it. And if that inventory, if there's inventory in here, if there's an item in here that I want to comment on and buy, I can. There's Jason, he's a funny guy. Philly Flair, I don't know how many followers they had when they started with us. But they're over 1 million at this point. So you can about imagine the size and scope of what they're doing, and they're posting constantly. I mean, that's 2 hours ago that they were in here. Actually, I told you I would try to leave a few minutes to actually go to a live.
That'd be great if we could do that.
Let me see if I can pull it up for you. Give me 1 second here. Oh, and that's the sign up where we get people started at the back end. Like I was saying before, the automation that we do for people to get started, literally step-by-step guide, syncing Shopify, how do I do my marketing automation? And you can check this out, learn.commentsold.com. Let's see here.
Aaron just asked, Aaron, do you want to unmute yourself and go ahead and ask that question?
I was just curious about the pricing. Are you like taking care of everything, or is there gonna, as far as the credit card processing fee, is that included in your fee, or is that then separate, handled
Nope.
outside of CommentSold?
Correct. That is a separate additional fee.
And your cost, Michael, is $149 per month to start, plus 3% of the gross retail. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay.
Yep. So the goal is aligned to fit. We want to see as much growth increase as we possibly can for you. This right here is a list of people that are live right now. So I can see who's going live, and I don't always do this, but for you, I thought it'd be kind of fun to check out. So I'll scan down here and go to someone that's most likely. The time is at 2:46. We'll see Farmhouse Glam. Wow, I don't know. Unless someone sees one here, I'll show you how. Now this is risky stuff. We're going live here. Jumping into one, hopefully. Let's see. All right, Farmhouse Glam. She has 14 people in her store right now. She's got a live sale going. She's been on for 17 minutes. I'm going to. The reason I like to show you this is this what happens typically. She only has 836 people following her. She's a smaller operator. Let's see, shut that. So if I want to shop on here, I can cart something. I can say sold 105. Another thing I can do is I can actually go in here and type in the word register. And this is how we get people signed up through our platform. So if I type in register, I will get a note back. There it is, confirm account. Log in with Facebook. I put in my information, confirm. I don't want to be a member. I have enough of them. Once it captures that information, I can go back to my live sale if I want. I can actually shop her store. I'll put it in here quick.
Will she get your email address?
Yep, and if I want to.
Only if you order, or all?
Nope, I'm going to be registered now, so I will show up in her customer tab.
Mm-hmm.
Which is one thing I was going to show you, but I can connect to my messenger, I can confirm, and now I can go in and shop her sale. I'm set to go. It's that quick and easy. One thing I was going to show, there it is. I'm connected. I'm ready. On the customer tab as well, we have a lot of different things that you can take a look at. You can add credit, you can take credit out, or you can apply a coupon. And so those are all things that, if I can show you on the, what other questions can I answer for you today?
So for everybody, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a recording of this, make it available. If you want to share it, you can share it to your people. For those of you who just wanted to learn more about this, I hope this has answered a lot of the questions. One of the things we did with CommentSold is, I went back to Carolyn and said, Carolyn, I want to get the best possible pricing, the best possible support from the CommentSold company. And so she's given us a link that you can look at. But Michael, you have been great today just doing this. Turns out Carolyn wasn't able to do our call today, and Michael stepped in, and actually kind of fun. I did want to see you buy something though. I think that'd be
yeah. Yeah, I just had a package arrive today, so my wife's like, stop, just stop. It's
Michael,
usually,
actually, that's a good question. Does it have to be a physical product? I mean, could you do like a digital download or a subscription of some kind?
I believe there is some space to run there. I had a client that asked she does coaching and does some things. She also has some print on demand publications. And so we're looking into that. I don't see any barrier to doing it. I don't know that I would use it in the same method. I don't know that the live side of it, but here's a side that I look at for some real growth potential. And again, you talked about verticals. I just scratched the surface of that. But if you look at, even the multi-level firms from your, you know, pick one. I don't care if it's Tupperware or if it's, you know,
Amway.
Melaleuca, Amway, whatever. You know, think about what they have done traditionally in their model in the past is go rent a room out or you know, invite you over for spaghetti or something weird. But the thing is that you know, so you can create a live community on Facebook and you can do specific groups on this. Now you've got you can bring people to the table without having to bring them to the Holiday Inn or to wherever meeting location. And so you can present your product, but you can also sell the consumables on there. So, and they are such large firms. We're taking a pretty good run at a couple of them right now that I'm working with. And again, we're just a few steps away from some integrations that would really help, but that serves both sides of it. Health and fitness. Okay, that's another category that could be huge. So you could be on there and you could have workout programs and you could have dieting programs and cooking tips and things like that, and then sell the consumables along with it.
And Michael, just to be clear, retailers do not have to have an e-commerce site to be able to be part of this, because that can, through CommentSold, you've got all the functionality.
Correct. In fact, I love it when they are just, you know, 100% online or 100% in Facebook, or even just starting up as some of them. You know, because then I don't have a POS system. I'm not worried about separating out inventory. Plus, I know that when you're you're managing a store, you know, it's a lot on their plate. And so if they don't have the resources or someone to help, it's when they're 100% online business and typically, you're right, you know, they don't have to have an e-commerce site. They don't have to have a store. We're 100% solution for that customer that wants to open up a store, be on Facebook, have a web store, and have a mobile app.
Hey, here's a question from Louise. How does an average consumer find live sales?
You know, typically, yeah, the average consumer is, you know, so you can of course do the traditional search, the Google search, the search within Facebook for a live sale, but typically it's marketed to you. So I mean, I'm getting pings right now. You can probably have heard my phone a few times. I have several clients that I get a notice in Messenger. I get an automatic notification that they're going live. On Sunday, I will get one around 2 o'clock in the afternoon that Millie P's Quilt Shop is doing their grandkid sale. It's just going to happen. It's like clockwork. You know, I know with Jason's wife with Deep South Pout, you know, she was doing noon sales. I believe she might still be doing those, but, you know, 4 sales a week. And that's another question I'm guessing is probably posted in here somewhere, if not that. And by the way, the wait list, I didn't click on the first time I was in the reporting, so she hadn't run a report on it, but this is showing, you know, who's done some wait listing and what she has in here. So I just wanted to show you that real quick. So
would this work, Michael, for a class? Somebody just asked, would this work for a class or someone signing up for a painting class or a sculpture class or a ceramics class?
Great question. I did have a client that had it was ceramics. It was kind of like a clay your way, where you make various products and paint them in the store, and of course they couldn't do that anymore. We did a really just a real clever pivot for a very big box store out of Washington, and what we did for him was, because he said, look, we have these classes that we do, and we show people how to make a craft, and then we make one, and we do this every week. And I said, well, let's just transition this whole thing so people can be doing it from home. And so we started with, you know, the first live was all about the products that you're going to need for next week's sale or next week's craft that we're going to be doing. So get your products ordered today. Here's what we're going to be doing. And then once we started that, now that next live was actually doing it together. They're making it, they've all got their products, and then we showcase, okay, for next week, here's the kit, here's what you're going to want. It absolutely was a tremendous success. So yeah, we do have some people that are doing some of those things.
That's great. That's great. Well, any last questions from anybody?
You said you were getting pings because you're already registered for their stores. So for the first time that you do this, is it just, you know, whoever happens, do they get the same, like, Facebook I'm going live notification on a page that a normal Facebook Live would do? Or are you sending out an email to your email list ahead of time saying, hey, we're going to be live on Facebook? Or, you know, like, what's the first, you know, people
Yep.
that aren't on your page right then aren't going to find you otherwise?
Right. So the low lying fruit, of course, is, and we'll just assume you have maybe 1,000 followers on Facebook or whatever the number is. Yeah. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start announcing that I'm going to be doing a live sale. I'm going to pre-promote that. I'm going to post it. And I'm going to let people know to pre-register, and then I'm going to invite them with a code to say, hey, if you join my first live, here's a certain discount I can do for the first 100 people. I can do something for someone who brings the most people to the party. I can do something for, the number of referrals. So there's a lot of things in the game side of it, but it's just that it's kind of the marketing 101 of saying, okay, let's get this out there on Facebook, Instagram. Then I also, if I've got an email database, I'm going to hit that and let everyone know if they're not a Facebook user, they may want to be one and join my group or at least visit my page, because we're going to have a fun event coming up.
Well, Michael, thanks for jumping on this call today, and thanks for taking us through this and sharing your experiences. Anybody, if you guys have questions, you can always email me. I'll get them to Michael. Michael, do you want to share your email address so people have it?
Yes, it is Michael, MICHAEL .Brooks, BROOKS at CommentSold.com. I'll just type it in here for you. And then we also have a link. If you'd like to get some more information, we will share this link for you. I'll get that. I'll type it in here really quick for you too. I think you have it too, John. I sent it to you so you can share that.
Okay.
9343. So if you want some more information, we've got a quick link you can sign on. That way we know you're coming through this platform. We know that you have been in this meeting and that you are working with John, so that as he's one of our partners, we want to make sure and track that. So please do go through the specified link. I just posted my email and phone number up there. Oh, sure. 27. You would think we wouldn't get, sorry, it's 578-9343. All right, second phone number is correct. There you go. But feel free to reach out to me, and if you want to set up a time at the bottom of my email, and John, if you want to share everyone on the call or whoever you want me to, I can send that as well. But I'm guessing you're going to send them the link and my contact info.
Yeah, here is the link. There's the link, and I'll send that to everybody because I've got everybody's name on the call. I think I know everybody on the call. Michael, thanks for joining us today. This has been just great. And again, CommentSold, I just think this is a tool that so many of us can use in our small towns and our small businesses can really accelerate, especially as somebody posted, they're worried about some of our businesses in the fourth and first quarters of the year. That I think this could get them through it. So Michael,
absolutely. I want to thank you as well. Thanks for having us and being a partner, and realize that any level store, any size, we just love to help you. And a local store can do, and I know that's what you're into, is the local stores. And we've seen tremendous success with that. And last point is, I've never seen so much curbside pickup in my life as what we had, because you do have that where we could do it, and everyone was loving that during the lockdown, because it gave them a chance to wave at their customers and say hi across the parking lot.
That's fantastic. That's great. Well, everybody, thanks for joining me today. Michael, if you stay on the call, I'll talk to you real quick. But everybody, thanks for joining me today. Glad you guys were part of it.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.